Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Hi, Taz. Hi, John. Hi, Grumpy. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Niels. Hi, everybody. We're gonna get to talking about what had happened in Germany in a little bit. I do want to make a couple of clarifications because I feel like this topic still keeps coming up, and I think quite a few people are taking it wrong, and quite a few people, specifically American people, are quite mad about what I had said on a couple of previous lives. Hi, JJ. Hi, Tony. Hi, Speak the Truth. Hi, Armin. Hi, Mark. Um, so I don't I'm not blaming all Americans. And I have said specifically that American people I'm very grateful to, especially those that call their representatives and help. And hi, Yana, and hi, Darlene. And, send aid and help, and help with supplies and call their congressmen and watch the news. There are lots of Americans here. And, I hope that I'm incredibly grateful, especially to you, because, I love you guys. But there was a comment that said, be mad at the minority of people in the government that caused this. This is not Biden's private piggy bank. I never said it was Biden's private piggy bank. I said it was a political chessboard. And for people like Mike Johnson, indeed it was. But also, the people in the House and in the Congress that are there, that are leaning on the curve of fascist, quite deep, and that are MAGA, have been elected by a large number of American people. Trump had been elected by a large number of American people. And these people in Congress and in the House that are making these decisions, that are making horrendous decisions, not only for Ukraine, but also for America, they were elected by Americans, right? And as someone who, I know I keep saying I've lived in America for 13 years, and I guess a lot of you, I guess I need to sort of reintroduce my background a little bit. I know I talk very highly of Ukraine all the time, and now I live in Kyiv, but you need to realize that I the US is home to me. And there isn't such a thing as Ukraine is first home and US is second home. It's both home. New York is where I grew up, where I became an adult. I moved there when I was 16. And I love America, right? Because why wouldn't I, right? I grew up there. I became a human being there, right? But it's very hard for me to like America since 2016 because all the things that I loved about America, the reason why I stayed, the reason why I loved it so much, as I said on the podcast with Corey, was the reasons why I loved it so much was because everybody was sort of free to be who they were. And it was very different from where I had grown up in Ukraine, that was post-Soviet Ukraine, right? And newly independent Ukraine, where for instance, you had to look a certain way and talk a certain way and do certain things. And if you sort of deviated from the norm, it wasn't normal. But then, um, when I moved to the US and when I moved to New York, well, especially because I lived in New York, it was very different. It was such a it was such a different experience for me. It was never oh, it's so cool. There's all of these cool things I can buy and cool things I can do. For me, it was the fact that I loved how many different people I was meeting. I loved the different backgrounds of these people. I loved that no one gave a single fucking fuck um, about who you were, where you were from, what color was your hair, what was your sexual orientation, I don't know who your friends were, what your parents did, where you went to school. No one really cared because it was just sort of there's so many people and so many different people that you can find someone for everyone. And that's what I loved about the US. And that had started rapidly changing in 2016. And when I criticize the US and I criticize MAGA, that also includes the people who voted for these people to be in the government. And it absolutely like drives me mad and crazy when I receive messages, angry messages from people who support Trump and will continue voting MAGA, that like I support Ukraine, and you can just say all of these like things about MAGA people because like I know you do. You support Ukraine, right? But you probably don't realize that by voting Trump and voting Marjorie Taylor Greene and voting in all of these crazy people, you actually don't support Ukraine. Because saying I support Ukraine, yet I will continue voting Donald Trump is sort of like saying I support women and then going and sexually assaulting a woman. Like it's it's I'm mad. I am very mad at America, and not just at a couple of like shitty politicians. I am. And I am not mad at America as only as a Ukrainian. I am mad at America as someone who is like, I'm not going to call myself American. I'm not. I wasn't born there. I don't have a passport, right? But like, you don't understand. Like, I never thought I would move out of America because I had a life there and I had like, everything was built. And like, if it wasn't for this war and my life turning upside down and my priorities completely changing, I would have continued living happily in the United States, But like, I'm mad because I care so much about the US. I'm mad about these things and they drive me crazy, not only as a Ukrainian person who's sitting here and looking at the United States as like, as a, as an ally who provides us aid. I'm also a person who's lived in America for so long and is a permanent resident in America who cares about the United States, watching its political situation just like fucking decompose every day, and watching like the fact that really these a lot of it is about Ukraine, right? But that's not the catalyst of this. The catalyst is 2016 election. The catalyst is all the stuff that I've been so incredibly upset over for years and years before the invasion of Ukraine even happened, right? Like the full-scale invasion. And so it's just watching it go so damn bad. And then also and then also see the political chessboard that's happening, that is like, that is costing Ukraine so many lives. Like, that makes you more mad. And I think that like I maybe put out like a wrong sort of impression here, because when I'm asked if I feel Ukrainian American or if I feel Ukrainian, I always say I'm just Ukrainian, because I am. My nationality is Ukrainian. Ukrainian American is a nationality. Right? It could also be like it could also be your citizenship. My citizenship is Ukrainian and my nationality is just Ukrainian. Both of my parents are Ukrainian. They've never moved out of Ukraine. So like I'm not Ukrainian American. But I'm American enough to care about this country, and like, I've cared about it for so long and I still do. And I think that that's the point that you're missing when you're listening to my rants and to me being so incredibly upset and so mad over these things, because it's heartbreaking for both. It's heartbreaking for the fact that I consider the US my home, and it's heartbreaking for the fact that Ukraine is my home. Right? And it's like, I'm not just a mad Ukrainian who's mad at the US because of Ukraine. I'm mad at the US because of US. And I'm mad at the political situation. And I'm mad at the people who fucking continue voting Trump. And I'm mad at the people who somehow like find it inspirational. And I'm mad at the people who like take rights away from their wives and daughters. And I'm mad at the people who don't understand that, okay, sure, they hate the gays and they hate the women and they hate the, I don't know, the like the trans people, and they hate these things, and they hate like I don't know, girls with short hair, and they hate education about fucking US history that includes like black people. I I I I'm mad at them because they think that they're just taking the rights away from the people that they hate. Which is still fucked up, but like, okay, in their little mind, it's understandable, right? Like, they hate the atheists, they hate everything, right? But the thing is, these people don't realize that that's not how taking away rights works. Once rights are being taken away, at some point, it's going to be the rights that you care about. I know you don't care about women being able to get an abortion. You want, you want those women imprisoned because they're murderers, whatever. You don't care that gay marriage is under question because you don't want two men getting married. Oh no, right? Like you don't want healthcare for transgender people because, that's just a brain disorder. Because these are things you don't care about. You don't want them to exist. But the thing is, like, there are things that these politicians are not going to want to exist too that you are going to care about. And guess what their reaction is going to be? The same as their reaction is now when the rights of other people are being taken away. And for me, it's just like a double disappointment. Because when I moved first, it was such a different world and it was so freeing and it was so awesome to be in a country where you could be whoever the fuck you wanted to be. And it was great to see it keep going up from there. Like it was amazing when same-sex marriage passed. It was so great. And now it's just really sad because I feel like all the things that I love about New York, all the things that I love about like the US, all the things that I decided to stay there for are being slowly but surely, not so slowly, murdered. And it's just really freaking sad. And it's also sad when you've lived through that for the past 8 years and every day you just kept getting more and more sad and scared and upset and terrified for the future of this country. And then also this happened to your home country. And now you're double fucked because you care about both of these places and you see the place you called home for so long be at the forefront of being responsible for so many lives lost because so many people have elected these genuinely fucking insane people to be their representatives. And I mean, like, I to this day do not understand how someone can unironically put Marjorie Taylor Greene in a fucking Congress seat. Like, how does that happen? I mean, please, enlighten me. If you voted for her, what is it that makes you think, yes, that is the woman I want to be represented by? Is it the Jewish space lasers, or is it all the other absolutely innocuous shit that comes out of her mouth? Because no matter whether you're on the right or on the left, it's like you listen to her, and it's just like I feel like every time she speaks, she's having a stroke as she's speaking. Because surely no one who's not having a stroke can be saying any of that stuff, right? Or she's just like a very well played character, and we're gonna find out that we've been living in a simulation this entire time because honestly, how? And then that woman who was a stripper also says that Zelensky is an actor and that's somehow a bad thing. And I mean, hey, like, get your money the way that you want. No judgment. But at the same time, I feel like if your former profession is a stripper, then maybe do not pay so much attention as to someone else's former profession, Because you weren't quite educated for the government either, my friend, right? Anyways, Ronald Reagan was an actor. Yeah, exactly. But that's not even. See, the point is not that other people are actors, right? It's just like she talks about Zelensky as not qualified to be in politics because he's a comedian or former actor or whatever. Like, baby, you're a former stripper. Which nothing wrong with that job, but that ain't politics. That ain't politics either. If you don't see, if you don't think that you are unqualified for the government, then why the fuck do you think he is? Anyways, um, that's kind of where I'm at on that. So I really wanted to answer that because I feel like, there is just a lot of misunderstanding as to why I feel like I can criticize the US so much and why I am so upset and why it hurts me so much. Why I feel like I can criticize it because it's I consider it my country. And I've lived through all of through all of this political bullshit. And I've suffered from Trump greatly and I love politics unfortunately, and and I've lived in this fucking country like for like over a decade. Like that's a big thing. And I put it in the past, but like I am a permanent resident. I moved to Ukraine. I love it here. I don't think I want to move out, but I'm not sure. Like, it's like my life turned upside down 2 years ago, and until then, I was perfectly happy in the US and I had a life and I had all of these things and I've built so many things for myself, and it's just it it, it's like I it's my country as well. And damn right I'm going to criticize it because it's like I can't believe what's happening to it. And also, like, I'm here in Kyiv in Ukraine, and I see people every day whose children are in captivity, whose brothers died, whose mothers were sexually assaulted by Russian soldiers. And like, this is not something you read on the news. These are like real fucking people you see every day. And then, when you look at fucking Mike Johnson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and like Matt Gaetz and stuff like that, and you see that they're literally playing with Ukrainian aid and like spreading these stupid like narratives that no one can really believe. I mean, Marjorie might, because honestly, if she fucking believes in space lasers, then she definitely believes in the Nazis. But like, you see this, right? And you stand in an Azov rally on on Sunday in Kyiv, and you just and makes you angry. It makes you so angry because you know that we could have been getting all of this aid this entire time if it wasn't for all of that. And then saying be mad at a few people in the government instead of being mad at America is not necessarily correct, because the few people in the government didn't elect themselves. And if I haven't been getting so many angry messages from freaking like far right people who love MAGA and tell me that I am just a stupid Ukrainian that doesn't understand American politics and that's why I hate Trump, like, and they are mad at me because they're former military and they know how to hold a gun, and they don't know any liberals who fought in Ukraine. I know plenty Republicans and liberals who fought in Ukraine. I know very few who are still going to vote for Trump after fighting in Ukraine. But also, like, there are lots of people like that. And so I know that it's not just a few people in the government. And the fact that these people support Ukraine does like the fact that people come here and support Ukraine and fight for Ukraine and still vote Trump is beyond me. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand it. The man is avidly pro-Russian. The man loves Putin. So if nothing else, if you're here and you're willing to give your life for Ukraine, how are you not willing to give your vote? How are you also willing to give your vote for someone who hates Ukraine so much and loves Putin so much? If nothing else. Anyways, it's been an exhausting couple of days. Can someone block the America First person? Because if you actually think America First, then you might want to learn how to read, and you might want to start understanding your economy, and you might want to start understanding how aid packages work, because that stuff creates jobs for America. First, and most of the money is spent on American weapons in America, paying money to American companies who pay their American employees. And there is a huge demand for weapons that wasn't there before now that makes America even more money. Ukraine's not getting money. Ukraine's getting old American equipment that the US sends to us and then takes the money from these packages to replace it. So, like, when you say America First and you actually want to mean it, I really hope that you learn how your fucking country works, like, genuinely. Because, like, it's comical to me when someone says America First and they literally do not know how their own economy works, or how their own government works, or how their own how their own budgets work, or what these things mean. Like, how can you say America first if you don't even understand the basic things about America? Like, please, babies, educate yourselves before you say this shit. Anyways, it's like I'm not willing to say, I just ah sorry. Hello everyone. Let me say my hellos to everyone, and you know what, we're going to move on because I feel like I'm going to piss off even more people, but at the end of the day, I don't really care because like I'm I love both countries. I love Ukraine. I'm Ukrainian, born and raised. I love the US. I've lived there for so long. Um I also happen to understand both Ukrainian politics very well and American politics very well. I had to understand American politics because I was an immigrant. And it was much, much harder for me to, to get jobs, it was super hard to apply for paperwork. I had to understand a lot of things, not even because I wanted to, but because I had to if I wanted to survive and if I wanted to have a reasonable life. And if I wanted my, the money that my parents spent on my education to not go down the drain and actually make the best out of it. So I I just can't look at it. I can't look at it. I also can't keep listening to people who say these dumb comments about Ukraine and about aid to Ukraine and about all of this stuff when they don't even understand how their own fucking country works. And it's so sad to me because these people are calling themselves patriots. They're like, I'm an American patriot. America first. No money for Ukraine. And it's like, well, if you're an American patriot, then you might want to fucking learn a thing or two about your own country. Because it's kind of ridiculous. Anyways. Hi Taz, hi John, hi Grumpy, hi Nicole, hi Niels, hi Grumpy, hi Armin, hi Speak the Truth, hi JJ, hi Tony, hi Mark, hi Morgana Cat, hi Anthony, hi Diane, hi Everett, hi Brandy, hi Bombi, hi Prexus, hi Karen, hi Gorilla Joe, hi George, hi Aspid, hi Doug, who else am I missing? Did I say hi Y? Hi Ed, hi Brooke Hare, hi Martin. Oh, okay. That was a troll. Sorry, bye Martin. Hi Hugh, hi Thorben. Hi Frederick. Who am I? Hi Mashbuck. Good to see you. Hi G-Man. Hi Samsa. Oh my gosh, I'm I can't catch up. I can't catch up. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up. Maybe. Hi Jedi. I think I'm there. Okay. Hi Odin. Hi Animal. Oh, hi Martin. Get your education system up and run, and you might have a chance. USA. Yeah. Are you from Ukraine? Yes, I am from Ukraine. Born and raised. Okay. Well, hi guys. Good to see everyone. Let's start with the basics. The fundraiser for a thermal DJI Mavic 3 Pro drone is the fundraiser is at $2,647.71. If you would like to donate to this initiative to buy a drone for an HUR unit, it's a thermal drone. You can do so. Through the link in my bio, through Venmo or PayPal, or Grumpy or Cat, or someone is going to drop those links in my comments. And if you're on YouTube, give me just 1 second and I'll put them up on the screen once someone. Yes, I know. Thank you, William. Thank you. I think you donated actually for the previous drone, and that one we already raised all the money for, and it should be here soon. I hope it's going to be here on Monday because I really don't want to forward it to Nova Poshta. Well, I can, because I'm going to Lviv. But anyways, yes, that drone we raised all the money for. This is a new drone, and thank you. I remember your donation, and it actually, I believe, rolled over to this fundraiser, and you got quite a few tickets into the raffle for a sweatshirt because I thought that you were on YouTube. And so I wrote a little you know what, let me tell you, because not everybody sees community posts, so I will tell you to fix the total. Oh no. 1 second. We're about to get 69 in the total again. I will tell you whose donations rolled over. Okay, so William, Robert M, Ellen P, Annalise C, and Martin R. Your donations rolled over to this fundraiser, and so you got quite a few tickets into the raffle for a sweatshirt in a size large that says Russia is a terrorist state on it. So each donation of $20 or more, so every $20 buys you a ticket for the raffle for this sweatshirt. Russia is a terrorist state. It's made in Ukraine, created by Ukrainians. It's not a dropship sweatshirt. It's actually like a sweatshirt designed by the brand. It sold out, and I managed to, I don't even know how, but it was just a lucky coincidence. I managed to grab this sweatshirt for the fundraiser. It was, I think, literally their last sweatshirt. And so, yeah. Someone's asking, how do I have an American accent? Well, how do I have an American accent? I just do. I also have a perfect Ukrainian accent in my Ukrainian because I grew up here and I lived here till I was 16. I have a Ukrainian passport actually too. I miss this moment, when I first started doing this, there were lots of trolls and they were telling me that I'm a CIA agent because there was no way that I was Ukrainian. Because, of course, if I don't speak like this, I have to be American. And it's a very harmful stereotype because most Ukrainians don't even talk like that. But Ukrainian passport, not going to, open it for you because, well, I'm not about to show you my passport number, but LOL, you're not Ukrainian, you're American. Really? That's my only citizenship, babes. And also, I am Ukrainian because I was born in Lviv and I lived in Lviv until I turned 16, at which point I moved to America. And my parents have never moved out of Ukraine. So, I'm not American. Funny how that works, right? Anyways. Why does anyone care about the accent? Oh, because they just want to discredit me, and that's all it is. How strong is a Ukrainian passport? I don't know, not very strong, but getting stronger. Like, we can go to the EU for, I believe, 90 days, no visas. So I guess that's already good. Anyways, hi Eva. Oh, hi Cheryl. Good to see you. Okay, so if any donations except for the one that just came in the amount of something that ends with 69, let me see, come in during this live, I will obviously announce them, and I'm super grateful for you. If you guys send a donation on Venmo, sometimes I don't get a notification right away, so do let me know. Oh, S68? Oh, I see. Actually, it did not come out to 39. We are $2,648.39, not 69. Quite wow. No, well, Jedi, I'm not talking about you particularly. I'm talking about many other times that people ask me this question. But yes, so if any other donations come through, if you donate on Venmo, you'll give me my passport. You'll give me your passport. If you donate on Venmo, then I will. Then do let me know if you do, because I will just check it. Because sometimes I don't get notifications. But if you donate on PayPal, it's going to come up right on the screen, and I'm going to announce these donations in real time, as I always do. And in the meanwhile, we are going to start with the news today, and a lot of it is not good. I mean, some of it is really good, but a lot of it isn't. So, first major piece of news is Forbes reports that Ukraine has developed a long range attack UAV based on the Skyranger Ninja sport plane. The drone boasts a flight range of 640 kilometers and can carry payloads of up to 100 kilos. Equipped with sensors, cameras, and GPS, the aircraft can serve dual purposes, functioning as a bomber by dropping bombs and returning to base, or operating as a kamikaze drone. Um, this is actually really cool, and I was talking about it briefly yesterday. So, Ukrainians really we've been like ramping up our production in terms of drones. We have a massive, uh, I can't say where, but there is a massive sort of like factory that produces drones and they design new drones. And we also have this program, Make Drones at Home, that teaches people how to make drones at home. A lot of people have 3D printers and they have been printing parts and coming up with like new new variations of drones and just like new technology and stuff, and it's been quite amazing to witness because this country just doesn't stand in one place. Everybody is evolving and everybody is trying to evolve and create sort of like new things for high leisure suit, new things for Ukraine and new bits of technology and new parts and things that improve already existing drones, and it's really really cool because I love seeing how, you take lemons and make lemonade out of them. For instance, like we have drones that don't do this, or that, or their range is too small. And we just 3D print stuff that makes them better. Or we literally come out with new drones altogether. And that's really awesome to see. Thank you, Bob. Ukraine also created these like quads. They're sort of like a quad, but they are a military quad, and they have this hatch for wounded to evacuate wounded from off the battlefield. They're about $10,000 though, but they are a military quad basically, or like a military golf cart that allows you to move around the battlefield easily and evacuate the wounded. So that's a really cool innovation, and it's a really cool piece of machinery as well. I saw a Humvee in person today, which has nothing to do with Ukrainian innovation, but oh my God, those things are huge. Um, at the Azov demonstrations, they started driving Humvees there, and there's like a QR code in those Humvees to donate because Azov needs Humvees, and you could donate any amount that you wanted and take a picture with this like cute little dog on a Humvee. And so I climbed on top of a Humvee hood and took a picture with a tiny little Shih Tzu, and I was wearing a white skirt, so it was a mission. But it happened and it worked. I felt really bad for the dog because while it was very cute and everybody did want to take pictures with it, and it definitely raised a ton of money for Azov, the dog literally, but like it was just very hot, and it was very hot, and the dog was definitely suffering, and she was like hyperventilating, and I just really hope that um she doesn't have to do this every weekend because it's a lot and it's a tiny little dog, and there was shade at the hood of the Humvee, but still like it's hot. I saw a Humvee too with a little Archie. Yes, his name is Archie, or her. I thought it was a girl, but yes, his name is Archie. He's a Shih Tzu, and while it's very cute, I'm also like, uh, it's a dog, and they shouldn't be sitting at the top of a Humvee for like 3 hours. Okay, Canada will allocate more than $2 million for the production of UAVs in Ukraine. This was announced by the Minister of National Defence of Canada, Bill Blair. The contribution will be made jointly with Great Britain. Canada joins the Zbroyari Manufacturing Freedom Initiative. Zbroyari means weaponers, or weaponeers, rather. This is a global fundraising campaign whose goal is to raise $10 billion this year for Ukrainian arms production. And that's really awesome. Like, I really love to see that, Canada is helping us, and a lot of other countries straighten out our own production so we can take care of ourselves, and that really adds to longevity, because while it's amazing to get aid, obviously, and of course in a short time frame we're not going to be able to substitute for any of the, of the air defense systems or of the weapons that we need, it's great to start building our own production and making it better and making it stronger, because at the end of the day, for longevity purposes, it's much, much better because we're going to be able to protect ourselves. One second. Ukrainian gymnast Ilya Kovtun pulled off a remarkable feat at the European Gymnastics Championship in Italy, winning 2 gold medals in one day. The 20-year-old gymnast displayed his exceptional skills on the parallel bars and high bar, winning both events. With this achievement, Kovtun becomes a 3-time European champion, adding to his gold medal win on the uneven bars last year. In addition to Kovtun's impressive performance, the Ukrainian national team secured a total of 5 medals at the European Championship in Italy, including 2 gold, 2 silver, 1 among the juniors, and 1 bronze. This is actually really cool. My grandfather is a gymnast, or he used to be a gymnast. And anytime I see any sort of achievements in gymnastics, it makes me like super happy, even though like I'm not a gymnast and have nothing to do with gymnastics. But it's like, you know how it goes. If someone that you care about really cares about a specific thing, then that just makes you care about it too. So yeah, that's my grandpa. Also, this is super off topic, but I wanted to show you something. I got something so there was a fair called Courage. I want to answer that right after the fairs, but there is this fair, and it's mostly like Ukrainian brands and Ukrainian food, and there was like, speakers and book launches, and it was right next to the rally, so naturally a lot of people went there after the rally. And I saw this Ukrainian jewelry brand, and I got this cute little, so it's a knife, and look, it works. It's an earring, and this knife works. It folds and it unfolds. And I thought it was so adorable. So yeah, there was a lot of really cool stuff there. There was a lot of decor, a lot of like wyshivankas, a lot of traditional stuff, a lot of like small Ukrainian brands that are just evolving. There was a lot of Ukrainian food, like restaurants were there, and there were speakers and a DJ of some sort, and Alexander Taran, who is this former former soldier who lost both of his feet. He wrote a book, and he was presenting the book. And there was Superhuman Center, which does prosthetics for military, and a lot of the representatives of it were there. It was like really great. It was really, really great. But someone said Ukraine needs to ration this aid because more than likely Trump will win. I support Ukraine 100%. So, well, I don't know about more than likely Trump will win. It's very 50-50. Actually, like the closer it gets to the election, the more Biden is leading in the polls. And that's a good indicator. But also, like, Ukraine can't ration this aid because this is like 8 months overdue, and I mean it genuinely. And this aid is not going to like help. It's going to even out the playing field. So this aid will help Ukraine get back to like stable. There is no way to ration this because we've been rationing. Like this is rationing. Like this aid is rationing because if it got here 8 months ago, it would have changed something. But right now, it's likely not going to change anything drastically. It's just going to keep us afloat. So there is absolutely no way this aid can be rationed. Like zero way. Like we need all of it, and we need it as soon as possible because we are in a very crappy predicament because of how long it took. Yeah. Yes. So that's there. Let me see. In a recent poll, Trump lost 8 points among independents, while Biden gained 1. Biden will win. No way in hell do we want Trump in there again. I really like, you know, the admin really needs to be cleaned up from Trump people. And I wish there was like a straightforward way to also prove that they have been committing treason by siding with Russia and taking Russian money, because genuinely, like, they want to destroy the US. And I don't even think they want to destroy the US. I think they just want money, and they think that like the way Putin does it is just going to like bring them money and power, and like, but by that they will destroy the US because they have no moral compass and no like moral ground. Okay. Is it sharpened to be functional? I don't think so. Beware, seen a few content creators, PayPals get locked. People noting things like for getting accounts locked. Yeah, you guys, also I wanted to say, when you donate for the fundraiser, just say for the sweatshirt, or like for the sweatshirt raffle, don't say drones, or say like, Slava Ukraini or something like that. Do not ever mention weapons, because like that makes the situation very difficult. Hi, Albax, even if it's drones, really, because in this day and age, drones are, controversial. I know it's controversial, but I'm also kind of making fun of Grumpy, because did you know Grumpy says negotiate? Did you know he says negotiate? For what donation platform? For Venmo, for PayPal, for really any of them. It's better not to. It's better not to mention weapons of any sorts, or for toys, or like, literally anything. But it's just like toolkit. You can write toolkit, yeah. But Grumpy says negotiate. So, Slava Ukraini, Heroям Slava. Yeah, I know. It's we're slowly getting to that story, and honestly, like, it's such a shitty story about the two Ukrainians that I really don't want. I'm like kind of delaying talking about it, and it's just like, it's just sad. Uh 1 second. Grumpy also says appreciate. Yes, Grumpy says appreciate. A children's sports school and a stadium are nearby. No military facilities. The historical part of the city. The head of Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration, Vitaly Kim, about the shelling of the city this morning. The hotel owners have just recovered after the hits in 2022. This is an attack on our business, on our economy. Fortunately, no one was injured, said Kim. There was a huge attack on Mykolaiv this morning, and um, this is what it looks like. Did Grumpy ever live in the UK? No, but Grumpy is from Newfoundland, and they are Irish there. So apparently that's his excuse. Although I have never heard an Irish person say negotiate or appreciate or H instead of an H. Food for thought here. Also, let me read Armin's quote before we get into So Armin's quote of the day is from Theodore Roosevelt. He gave his fellow Americans this warning: there is nothing that a man of loose principles and of evil practices in public life so desires as the chance to distract attention from his own shortcomings and misdeeds by exciting and inflaming theological and sectarian prejudice. Inflaming religious hatred for political gain has sadly become commonplace in contemporary America. Yeah, it has. It has. And that's what I was saying. It's like, all of this was present. It's present in every society. It's just in most societies, racism and sexism and like theocracy and all of these things, they're suppressed. Like, you can't impose these things on people, right? But when Trump came, he gave a green light for all of that to come out of the sewage, from all of the people who were suppressing it. Okay, so we're getting to the story about two Ukrainians who were unfortunately murdered in Germany. The suspect in their murder, it was identified as a Russian citizen. The victims are aged 23 and 36. Following swift investigative measures, a 57-year-old Russian suspect was apprehended near the crime scene and further detained at his residence. The Munich prosecutor's office, alongside criminal police, is leading the investigation into the incident, treating it as a case of double murder. The prosecutor's office has requested the court to consider detention as a preventative measure, with a hearing scheduled for Sunday. And the worst part about this is that the people who were murdered in Germany were Ukrainian servicemen who were undergoing rehabilitation in a local clinic. People's Deputy of Ukraine, head of the Assembly Committee on Migration, Refugees, and Displaced Persons, Alexia Heno, reported this. The murderer has been detained, but the police are still questioning possible witnesses, said the People's Deputy. The boys had serious injuries to their limbs and could not fully defend themselves. The perpetrator will be remanded in custody today. We remind people that the tragedy happened in the shopping center of the city of Murnau, I think it's Murnau. There, law enforcement officers found two men with stab wounds. According to the police, a 36-year-old man died on the spot from severe injuries. The second, 23-year-old man, died in the hospital. And these were two Ukrainian servicemen recovering in Germany, and they had severe injuries to their limbs, so they stood no chance. And a Russian immigrant to Germany, or whatever, literally killed them for being Ukrainian and for being soldiers because they were recovering. It's not safe for Ukrainians anywhere. It's not safe because Russians are allowed to move to Europe. It could be a long way. They have to go through a lot of hoops, but they are allowed to go to Europe. And that is appalling. Russians should not be allowed to move out of Russia and move to other countries. They really shouldn't, because they have their civil duty, especially those who are like, I'm against the war. Well, then go do something about it. Lithuanian MEP Pietras, okay, Taz, there is literally zero way that I can pronounce this name without you correcting me a million times, because it seems very complicated and there are lots of different things above the letters. So, I will try. Lithuanian MEP Pietras Austravicius highlighted that the European Parliament acknowledged the so-called elections of the President of the Russian Federation as illegitimate, but stopped short of labeling Putin himself as illegitimate. He expressed disappointment with the resolution, requesting that it could have been stronger, clearer, and more focused. He lamented the lack of political will to unequivocally denounce Putin's legitimacy, likening the situation to the tale of the emperor's new clothes. While acknowledging that the falsification of the election results inherently renders the victor illegitimate, the resolution fell short of explicitly stating this. Despite attempts to refer to Putin as false Vladimir, the resolution did not go that far, unfortunately. The MEP emphasized that recognizing the elections as illegitimate is a crucial step in accurately defining the situation in Russia. He expressed hope that such acknowledgement could eventually lead to the recognition of Putin as a false president. Also, there is a video about Uman in Cherkasy from about April 28th, 2023, and I want to show it to you because it's about a tragedy. And I think that these are very important. I think it's very important to remember all of the things that have been happening in Ukraine and not just show the new destruction, but also remember the destruction that happened last year and the year before that, and never forget about it, because, Russia has done so many vile, horrendous things that, it's hard to remember all of them, but we at least got to try.
Що таке може бути? Ракета попала в наш дом.
A cruise missile tore into this apartment building in the central city of Uman.
So yeah, that's what happened in Umanya. I'm sure that you remember that video. You remember a video of the woman in her home that was briefly shown in the beginning of this bit, who was just shaking and could not understand how something like that could have happened. All of her windows were blown out, and it's horrendous. And a lot of people died in Cherkasy. In Cherkasy region. So a year ago, Uman in the Cherkasy region was struck by a tragedy when it was shelled by the Russians at 4 a.m. While people were sleeping peacefully, rockets hit an apartment building, killing innocent people, including children. This insidious act by the Russians endangered civilians and reflected their disregard for human life. There were no military bases anywhere in the vicinity. In the meanwhile, Dmytro Kuleba shines as he always does. The head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Dmytro Kuleba, conveyed on CNN that Putin is a political creature attuned to displays of strength and fear. He asserted that when met with assertive power, such as that recently demonstrated by Congress, Putin is compelled to withdraw. Okay, give me 1 second. There is a person on YouTube. Ukrainians murdered in Germany? She knows more than 80 million Germans. Stop claiming always Russian. I say this, 2 murdered were pressing recruits living in Germany, not any Russians involved. Yewleea Act. So according to the German police, the murderer has been apprehended and he in fact is Russian. So yeah, it was a Russian that murdered 2 Ukrainian soldiers who were in recovery in Germany. I don't know what pressing recruits living in Germany means, but no, they were people who were recovering at a German medical facility because their limbs were severely injured. So anyways, toddle on. Bye-bye, troll. It was very nice to see you. Back to Kuleba. In his address to journalists, Kuleba expressed gratitude to Congress for approving aid to Ukraine, stating that it is good to see that America is back. He underscored the importance of timely assistance, emphasizing that any delay in aid provision would be countered by the bravery and sacrifice of fallen soldiers. Highlighting Ukraine's territorial losses in the past 6 months, Kuleba attributed them to insufficient weaponry for the armed forces. He called upon Ukraine's partners to maintain steadfast belief in Ukraine's potential victory and to exhibit no fear of Putin, as this would undermine his confidence in his own impunity. That's what I was gonna say, that like I say this all the time, is that Putin will only escalate if we don't use weapons against him. Putin will not escalate if there are F-16s in Ukraine or Storm Shadows or long-range ATACMS or Tauruses, because he can't, because these are weapons that can stop him. Russia only escalates when you show weakness. So yeah. So, if you want to prevent Russia from escalating, give Ukraine the weapons that we ask for. The president of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, stated that Russian athletes will face immediate punishment for making political statements at the Olympic Games in Paris. They make political statements on their social media, and the whole Russian athlete neutrality thing. And the whole Russian neutrality thing among athletes is just bullshit because most of Russian athletes are actually registered in the military and hold high ranks. And also, if you look at their social media, they're not neutral at all. Just putting a white rag on yourself and taking off the Russian tricolor rag really doesn't make you neutral, especially if you're very vocal about loving your army uh, and your military brother and shitting on Ukrainians is really not neutral. So if they want to disqualify Russian athletes for making political statements, then maybe they should do that now because all of them have. Beginning November 1st, Russia will begin issuing electronic summons and impose restrictions on citizens' departure from the country. Summons will be registered electronically, and upon registration, the conscript will receive a notification via state services along with the paper summons. Within several days of registration, the summons is considered served, triggering the automatic imposition of the associated prohibitions. The primary restriction is a ban on leaving Russia, which takes effect immediately after summons is deemed served. In addition, failure to report to the military commissariat within 20 days will result in additional prohibitions, including the inability to register as an individual entrepreneur, engage in real estate transactions, operate a vehicle, or obtain credit. Which is actually very interesting because digital summons for Russia means like a lot of people in Russia don't have smartphones or don't have like good enough smartphones to actually like be able to receive those summons. And since it's like in electronic form or over email or like whatever, most people are going to miss them. So this is actually a strategy to make more people subservient. And that's all. Also, thank you, Dave, for the $5 donation, which brings us to $2,653.39. According to the Wall Street Journal, Germany opposes the release of frozen assets of the Russian Federation for reconstruction and military assistance to Ukraine. Surprise. The country is concerned about potential repercussions, including new lawsuits related to World War II crimes against Germany if Russian assets are seized instead of remaining frozen. Berlin believes that keeping Russia's assets intact could serve as leverage in negotiations to end the war and encourage the Russian Federation to relinquish control of captured Ukrainian territory. How naive. Russia is like... I'm sorry, this is so stupid. Germany wants to use frozen Russian money that has been frozen this entire time. Russia had no access to it and frankly does not seem to care because they're still doing swell. Unfortunately, to leverage that to make Russia end the war, Russia doesn't care. Like money in the bank, or like you can't like it's so I don't even understand like the level of naivete. There have to be other reasons, obviously, because Germany has its own sort of repercussions or ties to Russia, obviously. Unfortunately, still a lot of people are influenced by Russia. There are lots of Russians. There are Russland Deutsche, and it's a very complicated situation. But like saying that you want to leverage Russian frozen assets to make Russia leave Ukraine and relinquish territory, it's like it's 300 billion. It's not trillions of dollars. 300 billion for Russia is really not that much money, all things considered. I genuinely like I'm in awe of how stupid that idea and that statement is, and also how disingenuous that statement is from Germany, because they know very well that this is not it's not a strategy. Russia doesn't care for that money. It's like if they cared for that money, they would try to return it, and they haven't literally a single time tried to do anything about it. According to Leo Doherty, Minister for Armed Forces Affairs in the British Ministry of Defense, some 450,000 Russian soldiers have been killed or wounded during the war in Ukraine. In addition, tens of thousands have deserted since the war begun. The exact number of dead servicemen serving in Russian private military companies, PMCs, remains undetermined. The situation at the Ukrainian front deteriorated. In an attempt to seize the strategic initiative and break through the front line, the enemy has concentrated its main efforts in several directions, creating a significant advantage in forces and means. Alexander Syrsky, the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces, is actively attacking along the entire front line, and in some areas he's achieving tactical success. The most difficult situation is in the direction of Pokrovsk and Kurachiv, where fierce fighting continues. The enemy has engaged up to 4 brigades in these directions. The enemy is trying to develop an offensive west of Avdiivka and Mariinka to break through to Pokrovsk and Kurachiv. Units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces, saving lives and health of our defenders, moved to new lines west of Bardychi, Semenivka, and Novomykhailivka. In general, the enemy achieved certain tactical successes in these areas, but failed to gain operational advantages. Ukrainian troops inflicted maximum losses on the enemy, both in terms of personnel and military equipment. In order to strengthen the defense in these directions, to replace the units that suffered losses, the brigades that have regained combat capability are being the brigades that have gained combat capability are being redeployed, Syrsky said. The commander-in-chief reminded that Ivanivske and Chasiv Yar remain the hottest spots in the direction of Kramatorsk. In addition, the enemy is trying to take Klishchiivka under its control and go to the border along the Siversky Donetsk-Donbass channel. The Ukrainian armed forces managed to improve their tactical position in the area of Sankivka, Kupinsk direction, and Serebryansky forestry, Liman direction, Syrsky emphasized. The situation in Avdiivka is really rough. And the thing is that the entrance and exit from, the exit of Avdiivka, the forced exit, was really bad, and it was planned really badly. Thank you, Mark, for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. If you would like to support me, you could subscribe to the YouTube membership feature or the TikTok live membership feature, and it's highly appreciated and goes a very long way. So, the exit from Avdiivka was really bad, and that created a lot of other problems. We were outnumbered 5-1 in ammunition. Lots of people were dying. Russia managed to advance 5 kilometers in the past week. That is not indicative of the rest of the front line, but it is indicative of a very bad situation in that direction. And that is not in part, but majorly due specifically to what has been happening with the ammunition shortages and the package being 8 months delayed. And this is why, I am so mad, because we lost so much territory and so many people defending that territory. And we're going to lose more trying to regain that territory back. And we also are likely going to lose some more territory while we recover from it. And that is so, so, so horrendous. Also, to someone saying that Putin was mad about Russia's assets being frozen, of course he was. But when he actually cares about something, we hear about it way more than we do with the frozen assets. Of course he's not happy, but is he so mad about it? Is he trying to do anything about it? Not really. But yeah, it's really, really shitty to hear news about Avdiivka and everything that happens in that direction, because had it not been for the delay in aid for 8 months, it would not have happened. It's as simple as that. So yeah, that's all. And that's all I have for you for tonight. Any new PayPal donations? Yes, one from you. 30 cents, which brings us to $2,653.69. Also, I saw that I think John donated on Venmo, which, let me see. Let me check Venmo. So we are now at $2,654.69. Are you in Ukraine? Yes, I am. I feel like I saw you the other day and you were blocked. Oh. And Chad, thank you very much. Chad just got 3 more tickets for the raffle of the sweatshirt, and we are at $2,714.69. Will the line stabilize when aid comes in? Yes, it's projected to stabilize quite a bit when the aid comes in. But again, it's like, it's sort of like when you put away your homework for the whole week and then you now have, instead of doing, English on Monday and French on Tuesday and math on Wednesday and like bio and chem on Thursday and the rest on Friday, you now have to do all of that on Friday, right? So, or rather, like, something else on Friday and the rest during the weekend, you now have to catch up on all the homework that you didn't do over the weekend. And that's kind of what it's like. It's like it's so rundown that we now will have to really, really work hard to catch up, harder than we have. And we have been working really hard because we have had no aid. You don't seem happier about what? What is the goal? 5,500 for a thermal DJI Mavic 3 Pro drone. And we are basically halfway, almost halfway. We are $36 or $35.31 away from halfway. Taking red eye to help out and run company after tornado destroyed it. I'll watch later, if not on lives. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Diane. I hope that everything is okay, and I hope that you managed to do. I'm so sorry to hear that. And also, Amanda, thank you so much for a $50 donation, which buys you 2 tickets for the raffle for the Russia is a Terrorist State sweatshirt, which you can look at my community tab. Oh, that's you. Thank you. So that brings us to $2,764.69. And yeah, Diane, I hope that things turn up. Also, hi James. Hi the UK. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Diane. I hope that things look up. Yeah, there is a raffle for the sweatshirt. If you go on YouTube, which is the same as TikTok, you will be able to see the sweatshirt. It's Russia is a Terrorist State sweatshirt from a Ukrainian brand. It's really cool. It's in the community tab. Putin is a war criminal. If he ever loses his mind and ventures into a NATO country, he can and will be arrested. Of course, I don't think that he's going to be arrested, however. Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to venture out, but I hope that he is I hope that he's, destroyed. And if he ventures into a NATO country in a way that, if he ventures into a NATO country in a sense that he sends rockets or missiles or something falls, I really hope that he gets destroyed. Alrighty, you guys. Also, I think I just received a donation of $100, but I don't know who it was from because it didn't show on the stream, but something tells me it might be Frank or Martin. So I will check in a minute. Yeah, the generator was back ordered, and so I'm still waiting. I'm waiting on the generator, and I'm waiting on the drone, but the drone should be here next week. I'm gonna call them tomorrow early morning and see if it had, because both of these things were shown as in stock on the website, and they were actually back ordered, and they're mostly back ordered everywhere. And it's just a strategy to make you buy it, which is a fucked up strategy. And they are all being brought from Poland and I guess border situation. So yes. Alrighty, you guys. If you know any families we can donate, that would be nice too. I will send. DM me on TikTok, or actually, well. Oh yeah, okay. So Martin, $100 is Martin, and that's 5 tickets for Martin. Okay, Sydney is good. I will be live tomorrow, I think. I hope. I'm gonna try to sleep. And what was I talking about? Oh, any families, DM me on TikTok or on Instagram, and you can tell me a little more about what you mean, and of course, I'll help locate a good place to send aid. Thank you so much, you guys. Good night. Love you dearly. You're fantastic. And yeah, I need to sleep. Naughty, naughty. Bye. Good night. Oi, oi, oi. Bye.